Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. We're back on the 99 Chevrolet. Got the number one spark plug out, got a remote starter hooked up. Hopefully the wires down on the starter don't touch and it continually cranks. But we're gonna take and bump it, get the number one cylinder up on compression, hopefully. Oops. Okay, so she should be coming up on compression. Hopefully it didn't pop over. I get something to go down in the hole. So I see, looking down here by the power steering pump, there's that notch on the crank pulley and in on the timing cover. Well, I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. Probably not enough light down there. There's a little crotch cut out of the timing cover too. I believe that's going to be top dead center for number one. You saw that we had the spark plug out. We bumped it over until we felt compression, so we're not on the right stroke. I'm going to double check in service info to make sure that that is number one for, TDC. According to service info, we should be right on the money. Now, this is our new distributor. The shaft is made out of aluminum instead of plastic. And I've also marked where the number one is on the cap, which is right there, which actually lined up with service info, so it's a pretty good guess. They said to line up the roll pin with the white paint mark that is on the distributor shaft, and then when we put it in, apparently the teeth, however you want to say it, are like 42 degrees apart. So when we put it in, it should rotate to where we need it when these are lined up. So that's free tip Friday. Of course, the oil pump shaft is never lined up, but we're gonna give it a go. Show you an old school trick me ma taught me here once we get her down in. We'll get her somewhat lined back up where we need it. Make sure my marks are close so we mesh in the gears correctly. And it has a flat spot here where it sits up against the intake. So right now we're down in almost all the way. Make sure my hold down's out of the way. Now we can take and we can pull it in and out a bunch of times to line up the oil pump, or we can just hold down on it because we're meshed into the gears, and we'll bump the starter, let it drop in the oil pump shaft, just like so. And it went down in. Now of course we're not lined up on number one anymore. Hopefully we were TDC of the compression stroke, because evidently there's two marks on the harmonic balancer that are only 90 degrees apart. So hopefully I didn't go past it. If we did, we'll find out quickly, I'm sure. We're going to plug the distributor back in. I'm going to snug up the hold down bolt, put the cap back on, find out what wires go where. Now they're all labeled on the cap, and I'll get the wires hooked back up, and then we'll get our remote start off there and see what happens. Turn this little guy back on. Oh yeah, no killer. So everything is back together. Distributor is in. The wires are on. Of course, the mass airflow and all that stuff is still off. It should start, or at least cough. That number one plug I took out was completely soaking wet, so I don't know how flooded this engine is. We're about to find out. All right, cross your fingers. Hopefully we got her close. Oh, Chevy Thunder. Service engine soon. Oh, she's smoothing out. Well, that's good. And we got oil pressure. Chevy. Oh man, she's blowing out some blue smoke back there. So what we need to do now is we need to set the timing, or the cam retard offset on this. But if we have it off one tooth, we'll find out here pretty quick. All right, fancy. Let's go get a scan tool. We got it loaded up. We will see what it has for codes. I imagine mass airflow for one. If your cam timing is off, I can't remember what code it throws, but, or if your distributor timing rather is off, it will throw a code. Turn that dome light off. There we go. 1345. I'm wondering if I'm off a tooth. Let's back out of here. Go to data stream. Gosh, we should have been pretty dang close. We're going to look for our camshaft retard offset data PID. We should have it, you know, at or around 0. Let's see here. And in order for that data PID to become live, you do have to have them up over 1,000 RPM. So if you are working on your Chevy and you're looking at this, let's see, we'll sort them by ABCs, cam retard position, and we want some engine speed. Let's see where we're at here. Let the data get up here. We'll fire this pig up. Oh, 26. I don't think I'm going to be able to move it that much. Let me go see. About 2 degrees. Oh, motor's hammering. I just had to rotate the distributor slightly. Still sitting in there nicely. Definitely not a full tooth off. It's kind of hard to record and turn that at the same time. So I just had to move the distributor just a little bit to get that where it needs to be. So I'll make sure it's snugged up. So as the timing chain wears in these, it'll also throw out. I didn't even look to see how many miles were on it. If you're a full tooth off, you'll never have enough room in your distributor. It'll come over and hit the intake. We still got a pretty good sized gap here, so no worries there. I'm gonna take, the engine sounds terrible. Mechanically, it sounds like there's a lot of mechanical noise in it. Probably should be smart and pull the oil dipstick. I'm gonna take and get the mass airflow and stuff thrown back on here. Make sure there's definitely oil in the engine, because it is quite rattly. And then we'll take and drive it and see if his misfire at an idle comes back as original complaint. And then we'll take it from there. If not, then we'll ship her down the road. Let's see now. I got everything put back together out there. Quiet, you can't see it. Alright, well, we'll let her warm up here and look at some data. Make sure everything looks kind of normal. Kind of skim through some stuff. It sounds like it's idling pretty smooth. I don't know if his, may have inadvertently fixed his original problem. Fuel trims look good there. Alright, well, we'll wait for it to hit closed loop and warm up all the way. Looks like our distributor timing's good enough. You want it, as close to 0 as you can. 3 degrees. I don't think it trips the code until 21 or 25 degrees, something like that. So I'll let her warm up and we'll see what it does. Looks like our fuel trims are enabled. We're in closed loop. My long term hasn't adjusted yet. It sounds pretty good. It feels like it's idling well. Alright, here we go. Better use turn signal. Man, there's a lot of slop in this steering wheel, fellas. He's a fun one to drive. No lights on yet. Oh, baby. We're just going to try to keep her between the white lines anyways. I don't think there's a single U-joint left in the drive shaft from the feel of it. She's vibrating pretty good. Here, just checking misfire data at an idle. Everything looks fantastic. So we're going to assume at this point, being that it's all warmed up, we got her up to full temperature. No codes, no anything. No misfires. Having not heard the truck run prior to you know, the starter being cranked dead. We're gonna assume whatever issue he was having was in his old distributor. Chevy Thunder. Because she runs smooth as it can. Alright folks, that's it. Back to the shop. She runs smooth as glass. This old Chevrolet lives to die another day. It's got 201,283.7 miles on it. Runs smooth. Like I say, all we can do is assume that whatever problem he was having was in, you know, that old distributor, or, you know, a combination of other things that is no longer there anymore. Pretty quick, easy diag. You know, had spark coming out of the coil, nothing coming out of the cap. So then we, you know, went right for the distributor. You guys saw that in the first video. And that's it. Hopefully this holds up well for him, and he'll be happy to get back to work with this dirty rat that's on the floor. Keeps the mice out of the car, I guess. So that's it. Why don't you guys head on down to that comment box, leave your comments, questions, criticisms you may have down there. While you're down there, subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.